Let's make a Mugen stage like this and turn it into a Mugen 1.1 stage like this. First, let me thank MoloMowChow for telling me the name and author of this stage. Let's download this stage first. Okay, let's search the author name and the stage name. I believe it says this one. I think the link is here. After download, there is the stage. Let's copy it to our Mugen Stage folder. Okay, here is my stage folder. I will put the two files into this folder. And let's make a copy of the DF file. And I rename it as 16:9 or widescreen. Then let's load the DF file we just renamed into the fighter factories. Okay, here is the stage definition file. Since we are going to make it into a widescreen stage, so we change the display name. Then we're going to test it in the Mugen. Maybe now it's named 16:9, but actually I haven't changed anything yet. Okay, so here is the original looks like. So in order to convert this stage into a true widescreen stage, we have to use exclusive features from Mugen 1.1, or else there's no way you can do it. Also, I will add my name behind the original author. After that, we are going to check the stage info section. It is here, and if you pay attention, there is a parameter called high res that was set to 1. And this high res parameter is a Wing Mugen legacy parameters. We don't need it here, so it only causes problem. So we better remove it, and it will cause all the BG elements delta to multiply by 2. So in order to convert it into a pure 1.1 stage, we better remove the high res. So this high res, if you remove it, all the sprites will appear larger, 2 times larger. If you set to 1, it will become half of the size of the original size. So the pixel is more dense, so it looks more high resolution. Okay, we add back the local coordinates. So 320 and 240 is the default local coordinates. After we remove the high res, so the sprites become bigger, and everything is misaligned, and you saw the character is standing on the air, not on the ground, for various reasons. So what I want to do is change the local coordinates. So we are going to double the resolution, so it will have the similar effects of the high res equal to 1. But with local coordinates, it's more configurable. You can double it, you can triple it. It's up to you. So after double the resolution, it will be 614 by 480. Okay, Okay, now the resolution is doubled, but you see we still standing on the air. It is because now from top is 0, to bottom. Bottom is 480, right? But the Z offset where we're standing on is 222, right? So that's why we're standing on the air, because previously the local coordinate default is 240. So from top is 0, at bottom is 240. If you're standing on 222, it's almost bottom. So that's why we are standing on the air, because the local coordinates, the space is being expanded twice. Okay, next thing we will try to make the screen into a 16:9 ratio. After that we will align everything back. So for 4:3 the ratio is 1.3333. So by 16:9 it's 1.777. Then we use the width divided by the ratio, we got the new height. And we better change the height instead of expand the width, because we change the height, the character will become bigger and the background also will become bigger. After that we can use zoom to zoom out, so the character becomes smaller, then the background also becomes smaller, so everything is in sync. If we just expand the width, the character become bigger, but the background doesn't, so it will out of sync. Here is a demonstration of the high res issue, because the high res, the everything every delta have to double. So later we will change it back. And let's look at the sprites. As you can see, the background, it have multiple picture to compose the background. It have red, green, blue, RGB. This is a trick for the older Mugen, because the older Mugen cannot display a full color picture. Even this picture is not full color. You see it have a palette, and this palette have 255 colors plus one transparent color. So it have very limited color, and what this trick do is it combine red, green, blue, the three picture to compose a full color picture. This is a workaround for Mugen 1.0 and the Wing Mugen, but we don't need it here because we are using 1.1. 1.1 is capable of displaying full color pictures. So what we want to do is we extract the RGB picture separately and combine them together again into a full color picture, so we won't lose any color, and we don't have to use a trick, because when we use a trick it contains 4 or 3 layers, so if your computer is not powerful enough, your FPS may drop. So let's fire the Photoshop and combine all the RGB into one picture. So after you copy and paste in, you are going to change the blend mode. To be honest, I don't know which blend mode to use. I only know it's maybe screen, it's maybe lighten. I don't know. I don't know the difference between screen and lighten. Now the picture has been blended in. 3 color elements was blended into one picture, and this is a full color picture, but we saw some color is missed, the pure black, I believe, because the pure black in the original picture become transparent. I see here become transparent. So what I want to do is add a new layer at the very bottom of the layers, and I want to paint pure black onto this layer so it won't show as transparent. After that, we are going to save this picture as a PNG picture. PNG. And this PNG will be the full color version of the background. Actually, we can do a comparison between the new picture we just made from 3 RGB component and the picture come with the stage where only have 255 colors. So I think this is the one we made. This is the one we made, and another one. Let's check the back and forth. You see it has some difference. Not this one. So one picture contains more color and one picture contains less color. So I did another try on another background picture. So after I blend RGB 3 element in, it will look like this. And we are going to check the original relationship between the background and the foreground. So actually they are aligned. Maybe I change this one as the onion skin. So I change this one as onion skin. So actually these two are aligned, right? These two are aligned. So I can rearrange the background and foreground just like this. And by the way, we don't need all the RGB element anymore because we are not going to use the trick. And this one is have less color, we don't need it. So we are going to add back the full colored version into the SFF file. Oh, it gave me a warning because the SFF file the version is too old. It cannot contain full colored PNG file. So it have been we are going to delete the cropped version. So we are going to upgrade the SSF file version by click this version here. So we choose 1.1. So after that, it will accept full color version. Okay. Another important thing is the anchor point. The anchor point now is in the middle. We are going to put the anchor point on the ground. So this is a easy way to force our character to stand on the ground always. So it's have a huge advantage to put anchor point on the ground. When you want to make the background bigger or smaller, it will scale without any problem. If you don't put the anchor point on the ground, if the thing scale up or down, all the thing got misaligned again. So you have to manually relocate everything. So if you put on the ground, you can scale up and down without any issue. Okay, let's put this one. We already know the relationship between the foreground and background, so we put this picture aligned with the foreground picture. Then let's back to the definition file. So we already replaced those RGB elements into a full color picture, so these RGB parts no longer needed. You see this is 0, 1, 2, right? This is RGB. So the 0, 1 already become a full color picture, so I keep the 0 and get rid of the other 2. And the same thing for the floor or the foreground. So the foreground contains 4 elements. The bottom one is the RGB one, but the first one is the color, how to say, 255 colored one. So since we only need this full colored version, so we are going to delete the RGB one. Okay, let's reload the stage and check what does it look like now. Okay, you can't see the background or foreground because it's above the screen. The reason the scene is above the screen is now we already moved the anchor points. We moved the anchor points onto the ground, but the sprite start point is at 0, and this 0 actually is top of the screen. So what we are going to do is to change the sprite's start location to the bottom of the screen. So we add this start. Okay, we keep it at 0 and see it should have no change because default is 0. So it's default 0, no change. So we are going to pull it down, but before that we are going to put this one too, because these one are related and synced. Let's reload it again, or no. Before that, I will give the floor sprite ID is 101. Why I give the ID is because we can sync our character to the floor. So I change the Z offset to 0 and have a Z offset link to 101. This means our character will always stay on the sprite's 101's ground level, and the ground level is the anchor point where we stay at. And it is here. That means the character always be this level. Now you see our character is stand on the ground, but unfortunately the ground is in the sky. So we are going to pull the ground down. So let's go back. Since the whole space is 0 to 380, so the ground level should be around 380, maybe 360 or 340. Okay. Since these two elements are synced, I give it same parameters and save. Okay, now the character and background is on the ground now. It looks normal now. One thing I think okay. One thing is I will have to add the exclusive feature of zoom to the stage, and this only applied to 1.1. After the zoom, the character will look at the right size. It will not be too big. We apply the 0.75 and zoom in means the maximum zoom in is 75% of the original size. Below the screen, now the character size looks okay. Just ignore the center black box. It's a filter. Later we will deal with it. Now looks quite okay already. The next thing we were going to deal with the byproduct of the high res equal to 1. So I told you the delta was doubled. Every delta was doubled because to adapt the high res equal to 1. So we are going to change the delta, change to its original value, so the background won't be moving like crazy. Maybe I can show off a little bit of you put to the anchor point on the ground. So I will try to make the background a little bit bigger so the stage will feel a little bit bigger. So I key in these scale stats, so to upper scale a bit. So you will feel like the stage become a little bit bigger. Right? Everything become a little bit bigger, but the character stay the same. So the house become bigger. And everything is still aligned, no offset. Without an anchor point on the ground, this is not possible. Maybe I need to turn it down a little bit. Next, let's deal with the camera boundaries. So because the screen ratio changed and the background image changed, so the camera boundary should also change, or else we cannot see the full picture. And though the boundary is still small, so we increase the size. I think it's increased too much because we saw the picture is make it a little bit smaller. Okay, I think it's perfect now. And let's try to change the upper boundary. So clear the upper boundary can go up. Okay, I think it's almost there. Maybe a little bit bigger. It's too much, so I change the scene back. Okay, it's right there. Okay, this part I think is a legacy Mugen issue. We don't need it because Mugen 1.1 the default color is black. We don't need to purposely add one background black. And this 0, 0 is also a empty sprite. So we can remove the black, not necessary. Save it. Okay, nothing wrong. Okay, let me change the background delta value a bit so they will appear, the movements, the difference of the movement will appear more dramatic. Okay, so you look at the foreground at the gates. Okay, I think I also need to add the delta value on the y-axis, maybe, and decrease it a little bit. Okay, next let's deal with the fork. To be honest, I cannot find the fork in the original version. It is here. So the fork have a velocity, it's moving. Where is the fork? I cannot see it actually. Okay, in order to see things more clearly, I comment out those two filters. And let's check again. Okay, I still can't see the fork. It's supposed to be here. Maybe it's misaligned. Where's the fork? Here. So I may have to change the anchor point and then relocate the fork. Yeah, put the enter at the bottom. 0. Save. Okay, the fog is still nowhere to see. I think I have to make the foreground transparent, or then we can see the fog. Okay, the fog, the start point is 0, so I added the start point, same as the ground point. I gave the fog a little bit different delta value, so it will feel a little bit far but not that far against the background. Let's refresh. Okay, still cannot see. Okay, let's make the house transparent. Let's see where the fog is. Okay, it is here. Okay, that's clear. I just need to move the fog a little bit up. Okay, it's done. And also we can move those fireflies effects a little bit up, maybe 20 pixel up. So every coordinate I subtract by 20. By subtraction you get things up, by addition you get things down. Okay, looks better now. Okay, let's bring back the mansion. So we deleted those transparent settings. To be honest, the fog is still hardly noticeable. Maybe I can make it move faster so you can notice there's a fog outside. So let's change the velocity of the fog. Okay, now you see the fog is more noticeable. Now let's change the corner edge settings. Since the space is doubled, so I think we would better make this value double again. Make it double too. Now her full body can be seen. Now let's change the player start point a little bit so they will be separated. Now let's check and the P3 and P4 startup point have to be different. Luckily I checked something wrong there. Oh, I missed the negative sign. Player 3 should be negative. Now in normal. Okay, next let's finish the camera problem. So you see here the reel have to be stand back really close to the edge to move the camera. This is wrong, So I increase the tension. So now it feels natural. So you don't have to go to the edge to move the camera. Next, let's fix the tension high, tension low scenes. So the tension high is threshold that if the player's feet cross this threshold, the camera will follow going up. Clearly we don't need the camera go up when you do a normal jump. We only need the camera goes up if you do super jumps. So we are going to move this threshold point or threshold line a bit up. So 0 is at the top, 100 is 100 pixels from top down, but this is a zoomed stage, so the 0 point is not at the top now. So the 0 point should be around here. So it's from around here 100 pixels down. So clearly we are not reaching the 100 pixel. We try 300 pixels down. I think it's too much. It's here. So we going up a little bit by decreasing the value. Yeah, almost there. I increase 10, maybe 20. Okay, too much. Decrease 10. Okay, alright. Decrease 10 again. I think this is the final value. Okay, this is the correct behavior. So the next is the tension low, where will affect the zoom. Let's give it our initial value, 40. Okay, go down a bit, 30. It should not affect the camera. Yeah, 30 should be the value. Okay, later I will cover the background music parts, because the background music, if you want it perfect, it will need to be looped. So I have a template from other stages. You can copy the template from other stages. Maybe this one. Copy all the looping parameters to here. And the BG volume is an outdated one. We no longer use this one. Instead, we use the BGM volume. The highest value is 100%. And since I always put the background music along with the stage files, so I never put the music into sound, because it's very hard for management. So I always put this MP3 file along with the stage file. So I will change the BGM file to the stage folder. And now let's deal with the screen filter. So the screen filter will give it a camera lens feeling. Yeah, it will give you a camera lens feeling. And this one is just a pure black picture that will make the screen darker. But personally, I don't want the one become darker. It gave me not really, maybe give you a environment feeling that the scene is actually darker, but I don't like darker, so I just put in the camera filter one. So for the camera filter, okay, I don't need this one. I can delete this one actually. For the camera filter, let's put the anchor point in the center so it can be scaled up and down. Okay, let's put the scene in the middle of the screen. So in the middle of the screen, for the width is 0, and the height should be half of the resolution. The current resolution is 380, so it's 160, I guess. Okay, now the thing is in the middle. We can scale it up so it will fill. Scale it up maybe 1.2. Not enough. 1.4. Okay, just right. Oh, not correct. So the zoom will also affect the camera lens filter. So we need to make this layer not affected by the zoom. Okay, let's search the Mugen official documents. It's here, background and the stage documents. And I remember it's in the advanced parameters here. So there's a zoom delta. Okay, the zoom delta default to 1 means it will affect equally in a 1:1 ratio to the zoom. If you change it to 0, it will not affect by the zoom. We set to 0. Okay, now it's not affected by the zoom. It looks perfect. Okay, but later I find out that the screen filter will still affect by the character's zoom. For example, my character have the zoom controller. When they engage super, the screen filter will still be affected. So it's only not affected by the stage zoom. So I remove all of it. Finally, I will loop the BGM. So I put the BGM in the same folder as the stage. So it's easy management. If I want to delete this stage or move this stage, I can see all of the files are together. So the thing is, we need to find the start loop point and the end loop point. And we will use the tool called Audacity. It's a free audio editor. It is open source and cross-platform. You can use it on Mac or Windows or Linux. For this part, it's mainly based on new experience. And you will need to find the sample number, which at the bottom of the screen, the 3 counters like things. here it is. Okay, all done. Thanks for watching. The final product will be available soon.
Violence is who I am.
Fight.
Yeah.